And so it's not with some sense of superiority that I find the New York Times has struck out in the face of the madness of Donald Trump this week, which has reached new extremes that we haven't seen before, even from Donald Trump. The White House staffers who live with Donald Trump's insanity up close have obviously decided it cannot be defended, and the only thing to do is pretend there's nothing crazy about it. That's what Donald Trump's faithful vice president tried to do yesterday. And now the White House says they will continue to post that video at government expense on official White House communications and make the sombrero bigger every day. That's what the children in the White House are going to do. This is the first president and the first White House that has decided, as J.D. Vance did yesterday, that a shutdown is funny. They've decided it's funny. J.D. Vance thinks the shutdown is an opportunity for jokes and that the sombrero stuff is funny. He didn't explain what's funny about it. Prior to the existence of the Trump White House, whenever the disaster of a shutdown would occur, everyone in the White House took the situation very, very seriously. They didn't have to suppress jokes. They weren't making jokes about it, no matter who the president was.
47% say Trump caused the shutdown and 30% blame the Dems. So I think that's good.
That's
what
from
do
your
you
Washington
think?
Post poll.
They obviously haven't gone to the HUD website yet.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people
Or
are
gotten
being...
an out-of-office reply from a federal worker.
Right. I mean, that to me that seems against the law to me. Your thoughts?
I think there are already some lawsuits to that end. You know, every day is just a lesson. And could you imagine if Democrats had done
Right.
this?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, but they wouldn't.
Right. That's the problem,
You know,
I guess.
So it's unfathomable to a certain degree, but I've come to expect that every week there will be a new thing that nobody would have ever thought could have happened.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they have like a chat GPT engine in the administration where they're like, what horrible thing have we never done that we could do this week?
Right.
But they're certainly getting some kind of a help because they meet new levels every day.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a new thing, Sora 2 or something, that literally they're stealing copyright from Disney, Fox, and all this stuff, and then they have, like, Pikachu, whatever, Disney characters as Nazis. I mean, and nobody's bothered by this. This is a new AI thing. It's an app, apparently.
Yeah, there's all kinds of, I've read about, you know, the fake AI actress that is being put out by
Tori
agents
something
for
or other,
roles,
yeah.
and SAG-AFTRA had to put out a statement about what an actor is. I guess restating reality is something that every industry is having to do.
Well, yeah, AI is, it can be good, it can be useful, but I think from this point forward, like we do with counterfeit money, we've got to figure out how to let everybody know. Like Gavin Newsom posted a brilliant AI attack on Donald and stuff, but he said AI. You know, he put up an asterisk that said, this is AI generated. So at least he's being honest about what he's doing, unlike Donald and others that are not being honest about it. And, okay, what do you think about that? I think this is bad for Mike Johnson. He's gloating over the opportunity to shut down. Says that Schumer handed Trump the keys to the kingdom. That doesn't seem like a good thing for a Republican to be espousing, does it to you?
Well, I feel like it is an attempt at reverse psychology not done well. You know, I think they're trying to say like, oh, if Schumer just made a deal, you know, okay.
As if they would, because we've been talking about it all week. I mean, yes, the ACA stuff, we need that to come back. At least the subsidies, there's more that needs to come back, but at least that part should not go away. And I get that, but what I've gathered is the main reason that the Democrats did not vote for the CR is because of rescissions that could be made, because last time that's what they did. So we've been saying, and Chris is rightfully arguing this fact, that Democrats should be going, yes, we want the ACA stuff, but the problem that we had was they were going to renege on the contract again. And I think that's simple for people to understand. Do you?
Well, it's certainly simple for certain Republican senators to understand. I mean, you know, there's been reporting about Senator Snowe in Maine, you know, having consternation behind the scenes about the work that she's done being flushed right down the toilet by the administration.
Right.
You know, trying to get the spending plans together, getting them passed by the Senate, only to have them completely undone by the administration. If the administration is able to do that, what's the point of having a Congress?
Exactly.
But there's the answer the Trump administration is looking for.
Exactly. They've just abdicated their role, much like the Supreme Court has been doing, and they come back to work next Monday. So we'll see what they decide.
I think the federal courts are able to subsist for a couple weeks, depending on how long the shutdown lasts.
Well, I believe that there is a story going around that people are trying to talk to Democrats about, especially the ACA stuff. But to me, it's the rescission stuff. If they're not going to agree to, they can't sign that into law, then what's the point? I mean, it's negotiating in bad faith.
Right. I mean, it's not negotiating.
Right.
It's all show. It's parlor tricks if it doesn't stick. It's sleight of hand. It's shorthand magic. And as much as I would like to see Trump confined to the Magic Castle, this is not what democracy is about. This is not what the system of checks and balances that the founders envisioned and put in the Constitution had in mind.
Exactly. And then apparently, this is hilarious to me, Republicans were warned not to vacation during the shutdown. And they literally said, don't go to Cancun, which is funny, because of who went there. But it's the fact that the Republicans are not even in D.C. right now. Democrats are there. They haven't left. They're still there. Hey, let's get back to work. And the fact that they didn't even seat Grijalva yet, which is just, to me, they can't delay the Epstein petition forever. I mean, the next Congress, obviously, it would be a different Congress, but they still have it until 27. So this petition can last forever. So I don't know why they're delaying seating her when she's going to sign it regardless.
Yeah, I think it's probably their attempt to, force negotiation of some kind, or to buy time to get Republicans to pull off their names. We know that the Trump administration is lobbying Republican members who've signed it to take their names away, or to oppose it. So, they will do whatever it takes to do his bidding, whatever it takes.
I don't like them. Have I said that lately? And Musk crony, Tesla investor James Fishback said the shutdown is a win for Trump. Again, I don't think that's good for somebody to say that it's a win for a Republican, in air quotes, president, to be a win for him, because shutdowns are never a good idea.
No, well, they typically don't benefit Republicans politically. They're a bad idea for the American people.
Absolutely.
That's for sure.
Absolutely.
And, past attempts to ensure that these types of things don't happen have always been rebuffed by conservatives in Congress. So, we are here because the Trump administration continues to undermine the will of Congress. And if they would stop doing that, I think more Democrats would come to the table.
No, I 100%, because it's like, again, they're negotiating in bad faith. Because again, it's not, if Donald and Russ Vought, who is just the worst human on the planet besides Donald, in my little lady opinion, can just say, hey, they're going to start firing people at the EPA. They're going to start firing people at the Bureau of Labor. I mean, they're going to start doing that just to troll, as Chris said, the Democrats. And it's like, really?
Well, and, that's really going to have a great impact on their chances for the November election here in Virginia. If you live in Northern Virginia, or, probably quite a bit deep into Virginia, more than one somebody who has lost their job after decades of service to the federal government. In some cases, people who have lost the same job twice or three times in a matter of months.
Right.
Yeah.
They've been brought back and let go, and brought back and let go. And so this does not bode well for them. Particularly in light of November's election here in Virginia, where a significant part of the workforce is made up of federal employees, scientists, law enforcement, investigators, all sorts of important critical jobs, disease specialists. When Virginia's economy relies on Northern Virginia's economy, it is not good for the prospects of anybody who is on that side of the issue.
Well, that's what I find, the word amusing is not the right word. interesting that when Doge fires all these people, they get 7 months of severance, right? And then they're like, oh, we're going to rehire you. So they got 7 months of paid vacation, basically, and now they're rehired back to their job. That doesn't seem efficient to me, because wasn't it the Department of Government Efficiency?
I don't think anybody's ever accused the government of being efficient.
It can be when it's done right. This particular federal government is not being done right.
An entire conversation could be had about the role of auditor generals and inspectors generals
exactly.
ensuring the efficiency of the federal government.
Yeah, sure.
And the ways that they police each and every year versus what Doge did and continues to do. Doge was not about efficiency. Doge was about removing federal employees to cripple federal agencies, and in many cases replacing career professionals and experts with basically children and partisan hacks.
Yeah. No, and that's why, I mean, you want to make government not work right? Do that. I mean,
get rid of people who know
what they're doing.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's like, and then, so we need to hire the people that know what they're doing back, because this is a really big thing to try to run. I mean, yes, we have issues with, say, the DMV, but nowadays you can make appointments, which is lovely. I mean,
in some states.
In some, it's like, we have issues with some bureaucratic agencies, but without them, you don't get your Social Security checks. You don't get your driver's license. There are certain things.
There's nobody to pick up the phone when you call about a Social Security problem.
Thank you. I mean, it's so. They really want to drown us in the bathtub as far as how to run a country, and it's just going to make it. Well, I mean, Russell Vought is one of the authors of Project 2025, and he's going down the list of the 900-page book.
Well, their ultimate goal is to hobble federal agencies from doing their work so that the work can be privatized under the guise of saving money and making the systems work, which is really under the guise of nickel and diming the American people into poverty, where every single thing we're paying a higher price for. There are localities around this country that have privatized various, most of city or county services, and the people who live in those counties are paying far more for those services than they did in taxes, and they're paying more for less,
right?
Than they paid in taxes previously.
Yeah, that's a big thing that I get from some people that I know that are hardcore Republicans. Some are MAGA. Like, I pay all this money and this isn't getting done. Well, do you really want it privatized? Because then you're still paying your taxes, because you don't make enough money for the taxes to go down for you. You're still paying all these taxes, and then you have to pay for a toll road or the fire department or the police department, or trash collection or whatever it is that you normally, that was your taxes that were paying for that. And so I don't.
Yeah, they can go back to the era when the fire department served the homes that paid it directly, and if your neighbor didn't pay for it, well, good luck.
Yeah, and that seems frightening to me, because even if I did pay for it, that guy's house is burning, so that's not cool. I don't want my neighbor's house to burn down either. It's just, right. I don't get. It's like I was saying the other day to somebody on a thread. This person was complaining about stuff. I said, you know what? I don't have children, but I pay property taxes, and that pays for schools.
Right.
Should I complain about that? Because I don't. And I don't have, she was complaining about people going to an ER and having stuff getting done, illegals getting, health care due to that. I'm like, I'm fine with that. I don't want sick people running around. I'd rather them be able to get on the exchange, because they're not even allowed to buy on the exchange without subsidies, which is ridiculous to me. They can pay full price on the exchange, but they're not allowed to do it if they're not documented. And that seems crazy. I want people to be healthy because I live in a society. Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I often hear the argument about I don't use it, so I shouldn't have to pay for it. But you use everything. Like, the infrastructure is everybody's infrastructure.
Right.
The roads, the bridges, the sidewalks, the power, the water, the air. These are the things that we pay for because we collectively need them. And whether you have a direct tie to it, you mentioned schools. Mm-hmm. You may not have kids in schools, but the quality of your local schools impacts all kinds of things.
Absolutely.
Workforce that's local, which brings jobs that you might one day get as well. I mean, there's all kinds of things that a strong public school system helps. And I would let people know, if you're a furloughed federal employee, there might be opportunities for you as a substitute school teacher at your local school division. And if you've got children and your income has changed, you might qualify for free and reduced meals now. So for your children, so reach out to your local school system and find out. There are ways to find help.
I wanted to talk to you both, Yahweh and Yesh, because I wrote a book, and it's about you guys, but it's really about some of your fans, the mean ones, the racist ones, the homophobe ones, the ones who don't like women. You guys come off really well in the book. Jesus, you come off really good in this book.
Yeah, I've heard that when people talk about the Bible, they tell me that God, you come off really well.
Said no one ever.
Jesus comes off really well. Yeah, no, God, you're very impressive, God. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but you there's some moments, Almighty, where you're kind of the alcoholic step God. You know what I'm saying? But Jesus, he's chill throughout. Like he's proof of evolution.
But John, people have been twisting my message, right? And that's what this book is about.
It really is, Jesus. I mean, I've gone through this book of yours many times. You never said anything against the gays. You never said anything against women having to be forced to be pregnant. I mean, you're not against abortion. You're against the death penalty, Jesus. I know that. You're like your dad in that you tell us to welcome the stranger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the right people are twisting my message left and right, and we can't take it anymore. So we're so excited to have this book, a really rock solid resource to show people what the Bible actually says. And that's why we love you, John. You're spreading our true good word.
Simon & Schuster's Avid Reader Press presents Separation of Church and Hate, the bold, hilarious new book from John Fugelsang, available September 9th and on sale now at your local independent bookstore or your favorite non-evil website.